Kelvin, Keir Starmer strangely quiet about the strikes today.
Well, he's on a lose-lose. He's funded by these people. They are causing pain to people, and he doesn't want to be associated with the pain. He doesn't mind the money, by the way, from, you know, the RMT and ASLEF. But can I just make one point? They are not going to win. And the funny thing is, those union guys, for the first time, now know they're not going to win. The railways, they can shut them down. Actually, we all seem to get to work, or we work from home, we do something. It's painful. We have to make adjustments to our lives. But we've been through COVID. We've had 2,000 a day dying. I don't give a damn about whether the RMT walk out forever and a day. Me, I'd reverse the pain. I'd lock these train companies down, and I'd say, when you want a job, come back, and you're coming back under these terms. The way that's happening now, they're dripping the pain into us and think, actually, we're doing you a turn because actually we're only going out on strike for the odd day or so. But actually, do you know what? We could go out for a month or so. I wish they would. They can't win. It's shocking that ambulance drivers can go on strike. And that doesn't seem to be a story anymore.
Yeah.
The teachers have a very good package. Average earnings, 40. In fact, there was no ECD report this morning, right? They work the least hours, bar Luxembourg, across the developed world and the EU, right? And they get paid in the top quartile of, on average, 15-year primary school teacher, $45,000 a year, okay? It's not a king's ransom or a queen's ransom. I totally buy that. But it's not bad when you throw in their pension schemes. You can work. You can be ill for 6 months. You get paid. There's a whole load of things.
And they're not going to get sacked until they start killing children. Basically,
that is absolutely true.
It is a job for life, isn't it?
Yeah. No matter how inefficient, stupid, poor teacher you are, you cannot get slung out. It's an amazing world. So the hope for me is that they get defeated. The problem about all this is that I don't know why Rishi does not get the credit for it. And I think it's because he's too decent a guy. I think what you need, unfortunately, right now, is somebody to be as vile towards ASLEF, the RMT, actually, and I say this with the heart, with even the nurses, just push it to them, right?
So a bit of trash talk.
I would love that. Good idea. In fact, and then if that fails, then they can become a GBNews presenter.
Yeah, well, let's hope they don't stoop that low. The unions would argue that a lot of what they're fighting for is conditions. They would argue that these industries, including teaching, are having trouble with recruitment. People are leaving.
Can I just say about that?
And then one other quick thing, which is the idea of a real terms pay cut. So, yes, they're being offered 5%, but they're probably minus 15, 20% because of inflation.
I totally agree. That's for everybody. Do they think in some way that being a public sector worker is unique? You go to anybody, any ordinary person working in a factory, working for Amazon, working for this. No, we can't carry on matching inflation. Otherwise, all that will happen, we'll have inflation forever. And the people who suffer worse with inflation forever are their members. So take the pain, get yourself in good position to have a decent package this year. They won't do it. They want a battle to the death. We should give it to them. Interesting
stuff. Now, let's talk about the wider issue of the economy. Bad news from the IMF yesterday. But as Jacob Rees-Mogg pointed out on the show, the IMF's modelling has been about as reliable as a Nadim Zahawi tax return of late. It's got to be taken with a pinch of salt, hasn't it? So what do we think about Britain's economic prospects? Do you think it's become a national pastime talking this country down?
Certainly. Even, I would say, among Conservatives, there is a feeling that actually things have not done well. And one of the issues for here is that our benefit system is so incredible that actually it's nip and tuck about whether you should go and do 40 hours work and have to travel, and actually if you can get a train, have a travel, or actually say, I tell you what, I'll wait for the money to turn up from universal credit in my bank. And that's a shocker. So I'm just starting a little business. I want to hire people. It is impossible to hire anybody under the age of... Actually, do you know what? I am currently hiring people who are over 70, at least one anyway, and they have come right from, although my business is based in Weybridge in Surrey, I'm hiring out of Harrogate and people working from home, etc., and stuff like that. This is good. I'm very pleased to be hiring these people. They are energetic. They want to do it. But what has happened to other people? There's no point in... COVID has changed the way people view life. They say, do you know what, I'm a long time dead. But if you're 50-odd, you're perfectly fit, you're able, you've got a brain on you. Why is it that they won't go to... Why is it they won't go to work anymore? What is it about them? And I'll tell you what, if you're a teacher, the employer has paid 23.5% of your pension. You have paid... if you're in commercial life, you get about 3 to 5% paid for it. So what are they doing? They get into their 50s, they retire. Fantastic. And by the way, inflation-proof pensions for until they die. So the biggest queue is on cruise liners. You can always recognise all the teachers are there. They're rather poorly dressed, but they can afford the best suites.
Do you worry about the work culture in this country now? Because I actually think it relates to the pandemic. The messaging from the government of furlough, which is the government will pay 80% of your wages, pay you to stay at home. But that's changed the mindset in this country, and that people have now, got a different attitude to work, as you've said. And in the end, this is the road to penury, isn't it? I mean, we're going to...
Right, OK, I absolutely guarantee, right, supposing Labour get in by the landslide that is being predicted right now, and to be honest, I think it'll be closer than that, but it may not be different from that. At the end of all that, 5 years of Labour writing an even bigger cheque, benefits cheque. Oh, are you skin? Are you skin? Oh, what's that? Oh, your right leg's dropped off, has it? Oh, right, well, here's this, right? All that, OK? Asia will eat our lunch. We will have no markets. We'll be kind of a North Korean economic wasteland, right? It's going to be a nightmare. And our problem is that we can't seem to get the young to believe that wealth creation is a great thing. I'm not saying that they're all the same, but there are enough issues in a factory now that you're scared to say, oh, I'm not quite sure how many hours can be done there. We're not sure about that. Whereas in Asia, they're just working their butts off. Very clever, and it is a massive problem for our country.
Your paper, The Sun, backed Tony Blair in 1997. Do you think there's any chance that Starmer will have their support in a couple of years' time?
Well, the good thing about Murdoch is he's not doing it out of any political view. He's doing it what will enrich me, right? Mind you, with old Blair, of course, he did quite well on the money, but not so well on the wife, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's available through my lawyers, that. So I don't know, but I do notice that
Because I don't feel like there are any Keir Starmer fans out there, even on his own side. No one loves Keir Starmer, do they?
Right, so this is the issue. The Tories are up to their neck in whatever's going on.
The brown stuff.
The minute he gets in, it'll be his issue. He will be, without a shadow of a doubt, the most disliked Prime Minister in 50 years. He will be considered bumbling, he'll have no ideas, the thing will be a disaster.